Awesome.
We got some chairs for you guys. We can just
Sure, sure, not a problem. Okay.
Hey, Glenn and Sheetrock, sorry to interrupt real quick. Hey, Charles and Sean, I'm going to do an interview and I'm going to be offline. So, Charles, can you and Glenn do the safety walkthrough before we open and send customers in whenever all you guys are ready?
Copy that.
10-4, I'm going to be offline for a few minutes.
John Love, the man behind the magic here at the Haunted House here. Now you have three attractions. You did have the one I'm seeing, now the Haunted Mansion, and now the 4D Theater. You know, how long have you been doing this? What made you want to get into it, and how long have you been doing it?
Let me back up and kind of preface this by saying I'm one of many people behind the magic.
Okay.
Like, I might be the event director or the guy in charge or the boss, but I give credit to the hundreds of people that work here and make this what it is. And I just have to be the unfortunate soul that's the face, but really we have an insane team of talented people that really deserve a lot more credit than I think they're given, and they put their heart and their souls into the place, and I appreciate them all a lot. But to answer your question, I've been involved with this business since its first commercial year in 2003, so that would make this 8 years.
Wow. Wow. And what made you want to get into it? What made you think massive haunted house scare the crap out of people?
You know,
What?
it's kind of an interesting story. When I got introduced to this business, I wasn't a haunted house guy and I wasn't a horror guy. I mean, I always loved horror movies and zombie stuff, and I always thought it was cool. But it wasn't the nerd I am today about it back then. This business was started by a guy named Daniel McCullough. And he started doing a haunted house at his home in the South Austin neighborhood in the late 90s because no one else was doing Halloween. And he came from a background of construction. I mean, the guy can build anything. He's an incredible artist. He's an incredible builder. He can automate things. He's working in home automation. And he built a really cool home haunted house. And it grew and it grew and it grew in popularity. And one day Halloween was on Friday morning. He comes home from work. There's a line of hundreds of people outside of his house at 6 o'clock. The cops had to shut down the street. And you know, it's no more. It's torn up. You know, it's like, you know, there's too many people coming to the house. So the only way he was going to be able to do a commercial or do it at all was to do it commercially. So the last home haunted house was in 2002. A lot of that stuff got transitioned into the commercial business that was started in 2003. Whenever we opened up, it was in a Fur's cafeteria in what used to be North Cross Mall, which is now a Walmart. And he opened up, and I met him the last 2 weeks of his first year. And I was going to UT at the time. When I graduated from high school, I didn't go straight to college. I took the small amount of money my parents had saved for me for college, and I started a concert production company with a buddy of mine. And I spent about a year and a half just booking bands and acts and venues and lighting guys and sound guys and promoting the crap out of it. And it was a successful venture. I mean, every show we did, we made a little bit of money, and that kind of ignited my entrepreneurial passion. And then I decided, you know, done playing around with college money, and it's time to go to college, and I went to UT and started studying business. And a buddy of mine worked for Dan as a monster. He's like, dude, you gotta come check out this haunted house, man. I'm like, nah, haunted houses are for kids, you know, I'm not into that sort of thing. And so he finally convinced me to go, and I was like, wow, this is not what I expected, this is really cool. And kind of drawing on my knowledge from concert production, I saw a lot of potential in Dan's business. I didn't see a lot of other people doing what he was doing, and he was doing a lot of really unique things, and you know, I started to rub my chin and started to, you know, rub my chin, and the little mouse and the wheel started to go, and I introduced myself to Dan and said, dude, I want to help you build this business. The next year, we moved across the street, and we were at an old post office, which is now an Office Depot. And I started helping out from the beginning, and our sales doubled, twice the amount of people came, and then we moved here in 2005, the same thing happened again, and the business just grew and grew and grew. And for a long time, we were just doing it 3-4 months out of the year. You know, weekend warriors, take some time off at the end of summer, beginning of fall, and do what we could to make the show happen. And eventually got to a point where the quality of was what it was, but it's like, man, what would happen if we spent 12 months doing this instead of 3 or 4 months doing this? And so we gambled. We took a cut in pay. I quit my job, he quit his job, and we kind of put everything on the line. It's like, if this works, it's going to work, and if it's not, well, oops. You know, and so when we did that and we made the commitment to do it full time, the quality of our show escalated. You know, we built things the way movie studios build things. We created special effects the way TV production companies do special effects.
You took it seriously.
Yeah, and we took it seriously. And that was the year, because we created this really incredible product and we had the time to do it, we got national attention. And that kind of shot our business into stardom in terms of the national haunted house scene, and we've never looked back.
Travel Channel, yeah, I saw some of that.
Yeah, that's when all the national press started. And it's just kind of, and I think another thing that's made this business successful is just kind of the essence of what we do. Like when we decide to do something, it's always got to be better than the year before. And that is the hardest part of my job, but the most fun part of my job. It's creative problem solving, creative challenges. It's like, look, we're going to pour our hearts and our souls into this thing, try to make it better, bigger, more dynamic, more insane, more scary, more entertaining than it was last year. How are we going to do that? You know, and then we do it, and then January 1st hits, and it's like, uh-oh. You know, let's go back to the whiteboard and start brainstorming ideas.
So every year, is the haunted house new? I mean, do you brainstorm a different walkthrough, or should we not tell that secret? I can
yes
leave
and no.
anything out.
Yes and no. We have 2 haunted houses, and each year we make major changes to both of them. Every now and then we'll tear everything down and start over with a blank canvas. But like another thing that's kind of the essence of our business, and what we do is we never want to do the same show twice. It's always got to change, and we want people to come back and see new effects, new monsters, new scenes, and new experiences each year. So this year, House of Torment changed about 60-65%, and Nightmare Mansion changed about 70%. And there are some things that are crowd favorites, everybody kind of comes here to see, and then the things in between we tear down and rebuild. And that's a year-round process. We have a handful of guys, just depending on the projects that we're doing, that work with us year-round. When at the end of summer, beginning of fall, June, July, August, that's when we start hiring our seasonal staff, which consists of about 100 people.
And how do you go about picking them? I mean, you open auditions, Chronicle.
It was challenging at first to get people to work here. It's like haunted house, what's that? What's House of Torment? I don't know. So we kind of had to go out and recruit people. And there are a lot of guys that are passionate about haunted houses that have worked with us through the years. But now that we've grown so much in popularity, I mean, this year we have like 700 people. And we just have a website, make an email blast, and go on Craigslist and say House of Torment is now hiring, and then.
I saw your website. I love it. I love the video and the kids singing, and then that's great.
Yeah, I think it's really important, you know, in our advertising and in marketing to have. Sorry. I think it's important in our advertising and marketing to have powerful imagery, because I think that really hooks people in the beginning. And we think our website is like the second front door of our attraction, you know. And so we spend time producing videos and artwork. Like I said, we have a lot of really talented artists.
Right. And how do you go about picking them? I mean, like, what are the key factors that makes you think this person's going to be great in a haunted house? I mean, do you ask the questions about, like, maybe their history and why they would like.
You mean like the seasonal performers?
Yeah.
Or
how do you?
Full-time artists.
Either.
Our audition process goes. We have an application, and they fill out the application. They come in. We talk to them for about 5 or 10 minutes just to get an idea of what kind of person they are, and then. I go out and my manager's staying here, and I come back in and we tell him, you know, John's a customer, you need to jump, scare the crap out of him, you're not allowed to touch him, you're not allowed to swear. You know, we give them rules and guidelines, and then we just kind of see what they do. And if they do a good job instantly, you know, we tell them good job. If they're not doing the right things, we give them ongoing direction and see if in 5 or 10 minutes we can develop them and see, you know, we see if there's the magic there. You know what I mean? And if there's the magic there, you can tell after talking to someone and seeing them before in 5 minutes, and if it isn't, it isn't.
Yeah. Awesome. So, all right, do you want to do a little tour of the thing, or do you want to, is there something that you'd like to add? Is there anything that no one's ever asked you about the haunted house that you think would be important to anybody who would want to do something like this, that would want to put something this massive together, this fantastic?
Yeah, I mean, anybody, you know, trying to open a haunted house and do something on this scale, I'd say it's challenging I've ever done. Insane amount of stress, but an insane amount of joy. And in the end, everything settles. For people just out there, I think haunted house is a word that has some innate associations with it. And that's something we're always trying to overcome and challenge. It's like we're trying to convince people, look, you gotta come check out haunted houses. You gotta come check out our haunted house. Because when people think haunted house, they think, I'm gonna put my hands in grapes and spaghetti and there's black trash bag walls, you know? And that's the way they were, no doubt. 15, 20 years ago, you know, 8 years ago, and even now, you know, some of them are still that way. But, like, so that's always our challenge. That's what I wish I could just tell people and show them. And really, you just can't tell them, you have to show them.
Right.
Which is why we have really cool graphics and videos and stuff on the website. We have to show them, like, look, what you think a haunted house is not what we do. This is like going through a video game or a movie or a giant theatrical production. I mean, this is something else. There's people flying through the air on zip lines. There's giant animatronics. There's effects. There's insanely detailed scenes. There's lots of, you know, it's a big Halloween production, and you know, it's growing in popularity. And I think as more people finally realize, look, you know, haunted houses were 20 years ago are not what they are today.
Right.
You know,
Like thrill rides and theme parks.
that's exactly right. And I mean, like thinking about technology, and as you know, advanced technology becomes cheaper, it becomes implemented into haunted houses, and I think what we're able to do in the future is going to continue to grow and escalate.
Yeah, I can relate a lot on the music field, even aspect of, you know, putting a show together and the stress and stuff, but it's, you know, the joy that you get from it.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, it's just incredible. Well, I look forward to it. I'll admit this is the first time of me going through it. I've never been through the haunted house, so I really look forward to it. Like I said, I went through a bunch when I was younger, but they were never near this scale, and so I'm excited, and I just want to thank you. And it's a pleasure meeting you. And I look forward to it. So let's get some behind the scenes. If you want, if you have time, where is it?